Welcome to Travel Vision, and today we're exploring one of the most beautiful cities in the world. Paris, every year considered one of the most visited cities in the world with stunning cityscape and architecture, a renowned gastronomic scene, a global center for fashion travel and history. It's hard not to understand why, but with so many things to see and do, it can be hard to think about planning a visit to Paris. In this video we're going to lay out our guide to Paris and share with you what we did in our 4 days of exploring Paris. So let's go music. It's our first day in Paris and we're still a little tired from the flight and a little jet lagged, so let's start our day with caffeine and pastries. We hear good things about Le Croix Patisserie, and when we arrived we saw why the cafe was cozy and inviting and the candy display looked incredible. I decided to go with the lemon tarts and the man had the pistachio tart along with our espresso and cappuccino, and now it was delicious because we were so close. Our Lady of Paris Cathedral only made sense that it should be the next stop on our trip. The Cathedral of Our Lady of Paris was originally completed back in 1260 and is a stunning example of French Gothic architecture, but unfortunately due to a fire that severely damaged the cathedral back in 2019. Notre Dame is temporarily closed until 2024, but you can still see the church from the outside, and there are several information boards where you can learn about the fire and restoration work that is being done. After a quick stop near Notre Dame, we decided to spend some free time and walk around the neighborhood on either side of the Seine and admire the beautiful cityscape of Paris. On the north side, also called the right bank, we also stopped at the magnificent Deville City Hall Hotel. Like the Hôtel de Sands, which is famous for having a cannonball lodged in its exterior, we then hop across Illinois Street, Louis, and then down south to the left bank to enter the Latin Quarter. Music. The name Latin Quarter historically comes from the fact that many students lived here and spoke Latin. The Latin Port is an interesting place to explore because it retains many of the narrow streets that used to occupy Paris and hasn't been torn down in favor of the larger boulevards you'll see in the rest of the city. Now, the Latin Quarter is a lively and active neighborhood with plenty of food and stores to explore. After a long walk, it was time for lunch, so we decided to grab some crepes. We ended up stopping at Le Capri. The clown and clown decor here was interesting, but when we ordered and tried the pancakes we were really excited. The man went with the egg ham and cheese filling, and I had the potato bacon and raclette cheese, sour cream and onion filling, and both were really good. After we finished lunch, our next stop is the Luxembourg Jardin, first laid out in the 1600s as a garden for the Luxembourg Palace where the French Senate now meets. The Luxembourg Garden is now a free public space that welcomes locals and visitors alike. Find some quiet time amidst the hustle and bustle of Paris. Some features include a large formal garden in the center with an octagonal pool, many types of statues scattered throughout the park, incredibly beautiful playgrounds with a Medici fountain for children, arrays of trees, and plenty of seating for just about anything. You need to sit down and stretch your legs a bit. I'm now a couple minutes away from the Luxembourg Gardens, our next stop on our itinerary. The Pantheon was originally conceived as a church and was built in 1790, just before the French Revolution. The Pantheon was quickly converted into a mausoleum to house the bodies of prominent French citizens on the outside. The inside of the Pantheon takes advantage of the fact that architecturally it draws inspiration from Greek and Roman styles, and, given its large size, it presents an interesting suggestion that its surroundings are now on the grounds inside the Pantheon is still just as stunning. But the main thing, of course, is to see the tombs of some of the most important people in French history, including scholars such as Pierre and Maria Curie, writers such as Voltaire and Victor Hugo, as well as politicians, military leaders, and other famous residents. After enjoying the history of the Pantheon, it was time for dinner, and tonight we are heading to Chi-Fernon to try some traditional Parisian food. We had made reservations in advance and got a table that was right outside. We got a couple glasses of wine to drink, and for an appetizer we had snails and bone marrow with bread, and on the base of the Sacré-Cœur, and after the soccer codex is over, it's time to explore the hilltop Mont Village. This area will definitely be packed with tourists, but with charming streets, buildings and squares, it's easy to see why this area is so popular. Popular to visit. There are so many scenic spots where you can enjoy a stroll around the famous place to watch artists practicing their craft. After all, Mar has been a center for many artists including Monet, Picasso, Van Gogh and many others, and there are many other small churches and buildings and stores that you can also pop into here if you need to find a place away from the crowds. We loved hiding in the pristine Marcel Blanchette Square, right behind the soccer Kougang. There are many great restaurants in Marta and we decided to book a table at Le Moulin de la Galite, located in one of the village's traditional windmills. The restaurant has an intimate atmosphere and a wonderful outdoor patio where you'll feel like you've escaped the hustle and bustle of Paris. The man ordered the mussels with fries and I ordered from the daily lunch combo menu of salad and steak pizza paired with wine. We had everything we needed for a delicious casual lunch. Music after lunch. It was finally time to spend some time with the one and only Eiffel Tower, perhaps the most iconic place that comes to mind when you think of Paris, tall as an 80-story building and constructed of 300 tons of wrought iron. You will see the Eiffel Tower from almost anywhere in Paris. If you want to go up, there can be long lines to get to the top of the tower, so we just decided to drive up close and try to get some good photos. Usually one of the best places to get an unobstructed view is on the opposite side of the river, by the Trocadero, and especially in the plaza at the top of the tower hill, but when we visited, unfortunately this spot was under renovation and a barrier had been put up that blocked the view. But that's okay because there's another spot a 5-minute walk away that we read about at the end of our rough de Camon, where the tower is beautifully framed by traditional Parisian architecture and the crowds are much smaller. After we took some pictures together, we head to the River Sun to see the Eiffel Tower from the river, and from here it's a good place to sit down and maybe have a drink and relax. And then we'll go right and see the Biricum Bridge. It's a pedestrian and cyclist only bridge on the main level, but what makes it neat is that there's also an upper level that carries the 6th metro line, and to support the metro line there's a series of steel columns which is visually pretty cool. Wrapped up the day we wanted to have a picnic and I still want to visit Le Grand in Péculier de Petit, and this made a good excuse. To go I picked up a baguette, some meat, cheese and miscellaneous stuff and a small bottle of champagne for the picnic, and to complement the picnic food, of course dessert will be needed, and in Paris you should definitely try the macarons at least once, and there are definitely a lot of great stores to choose from, but I have yet to try a macon from Pierre Hermes, so let's get some macaroons in their music, and there are definitely a lot of great picnic spots to choose from. But we went back to the Eiffel Tower along the River Sand when we first visited Paris 4 years ago. We had picnic dances here a few times, and coming back here brought back that nostalgic feeling from our first trip. There were definitely more people here than 4 years ago when we almost had the place to ourselves. But when you enjoy a picnic during sunset in Paris at the Eiffel Tower, it's still stunning and the perfect way to end our day. Music. This is our 3rd day in Paris, and today it was time to enjoy her rich cultural institutions. Paris is often referred to as the museum capital of the world, with almost every museum in the world. The museum capital of the world, home to nearly 300 museums showcasing all different types of exhibitions, but if you're only going to visit one museum, it's probably going to be the Louvre, the most visited museum in the world. The Louvre was now actually a fortress and then converted into a royal residence until it was turned back into a museum after the French Revolution, and now houses some of the most valuable paintings, sculptures, and artifacts in the world, which we booked our ticket to in advance to get a seat at the time we wanted, and although the Louvre was busy at all times of the day, we were very happy with our choice to book early in the morning because at least the crowds at that time were not as intense. Music. This was our 2nd visit here, so we avoided the huge line to see the Lys up close and instead decided to spend our time looking at some paintings and sculptures that we hadn't seen last time.
Welcome to Albania. The biggest surprise from in this video, I will share with you an amazing itinerary to make the most of your time in Albania. Together we will discover the turquoise waters of the Albanian Riviera, the magnificent Albanian Alps and the hospitality of the locals that Albania is famous for. Albanian Alps and the local hospitality Albania is famous for. My name is Sam, and I have my second home here in Durrës, Albania, and I promise you will fall in love with this country. Albania and Durrës beginning. Albania is a stunning southeastern European country. You will land in Tirana, the capital of Albania. The capital of Albania. Once you land, the first thing you'll want to do is rent a car and pick it up at the airport. Base for the next 4 nights is the beautiful coastal town of Durrës. Just 30 minutes by car from Tana. It's the second largest city after Tana, but unlike Tana it's located on the beach. Our first trip from Durrës will be to Lake Billa, which is 1 hour and 15 minutes by dry road. You have to walk about half a kilometer to get to the viewing platform. The hike is via Safe. The lake is a hidden garma that few people know about. It provides drinking water for most of the capital city. Tirana, the views are incredible, after which you can have lunch at the BVA restaurant overlooking the lake. After lunch you can have lunch at the BVA restaurant overlooking the lake in the capital city of Tirana, which is a 50-minute drive away. Tirana is a very pleasant city with great food, and one of the most interesting things to do here is to visit the bunker as you walk around through the dark, creepy corridors of the bunker. Berat. Another day of exploring. Today I'm off to the UNESCO World Heritage Site Berat. Berat is also known by its nickname the City of 1,000 Windows. Laura and Bratai Durrës Bridge and head southwest. This area is also called the Albanian Riviera or the Maldives of Europe due to the insanely turquoise water. Tian is full of narrow streets with colorful houses and cozy cafes. I wrote you a simple text. A must-see place to visit in Vlorë is the Mi Mosque, built in the 16th century, which originally served as a Byzantine church. In the 12th here there is the sea and the mountains. The monastery, which is only a 10-minute drive from the vlog. To get to the monastery, you have to walk along this charming wooden path, and it really is a wonderful experience. I have never seen anything like this before. Laguna Ines surrounds the monastery, and it's a beautiful protected area with lots of wildlife, including flamingos, and thankfully these were all the flamingos we saw that day. 40 minutes south of the Vlorë there is another very special place to visit, and that I want to show you is the BRTY Stone Bridge. I've seen thousands of pictures, and it goes over this beautiful turquoise river, and I wonder if it would look so cool in real life. It's so beautiful here, so I think we're gonna go for a swim, and that's why I just love Albania. There are places all over the country that take your breath away, and there's no tourists, there's no crowds, you're usually just for yourself, and I think it's gonna last long, so we're just gonna enjoy it until the weekend. The last thing on our list for Sarandë and Zamul today is to get to the beautiful coastal town of Sandë. It's a brand new day here in Sarandë, and we have a whole morning to explore this town with its horseshoe-shaped bay and the beautiful deep blue waters of the Mediterranean Sea. Don't miss a stroll by the magnificent seaside promenade, and in the afternoon soak up the sun on the beautiful beaches of Arma, a coastal village located just 15 minutes away by car from Sama. 15 minutes by car from Sarandë. Is famous for its turquoise waters and is called the Maldives Europe. My goodness, I recommend renting a sun lounger. Riviera. It's another morning, and today we're off to explore a bit of famous Albanian nature, the Blue Eye, which is 35 minutes by car from Sarandë. You can rent a scooter to get from the parking lot to the Blue Eye. The Blue Eye is a water spring with extremely light blue bubbles in a pool over 50 meters deep. Senda Gjesta is a very cute little town built in the Ottoman era. Notice the beautiful architecture of the houses and the small streets, and it really takes you back in time. This town is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. You will easily fall in love with it. Small streets, and it really takes you back in time. This town is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. You will easily fall in love with all the handmade goods that the locals create right before your eyes. With all the handmade goods that are created by the locals right in front of your eyes. Definitely, try Kardashi is the place where they serve homemade food, and it is delicious. We always love to go back there, and we even have our favorite table. We have chofer and ban. Everything is typical Albanian. Be sure to visit the castle of Jastra, which towers over the town. The locals call it our Jocasta because of the legend of Ariro. It is believed that Ariro was a princess who didn't want to be captured by the Ottomans, so she threw herself together with her baby into the sand. From the heights, the castle overlooks the town and the beautiful valley of Dro. Surrounded by the impressive mountains, in 1 hour and 20 minutes you will find yourself in Bania Thermal. I ran down an empty street. These thermal pools are rich in minerals and serve medicinal purposes, so let's take a dip. I've never seen such a view. While bathing in the hot, right above the hot springs is a medieval bridge. Right above the hot springs is a medieval bridge spanning the turquoise sulphurous river reach. Durrës. We will spend 2 more nights. If you are looking for accommodation in Durrës, we have a seafront apartment in an ideal location and would love to welcome you. Let me give you a little tour. Welcome to the bedroom. Imagine waking up to this view. The bathroom is nice and clean. The living room also has a great view, dining area and a fully equipped kitchen, but the highlight of the apartment is the spacious terrace with epic sea views and sunset panorama. This is my favorite place too, and I just adore this place. Let's explore Durrës itself. It is the only old town in Albania and the most important port in the country. Important port in the country. Amphitheater. In the afternoon you can relax on the beach along the beautiful Durrës promenade. Since Albania is a budget country, consider renting a jet ski. Unlike other countries, here it is very affordable to have one. After that you can also head to Golan. Just a 5-minute drive from the Durrës center is the Durrës Riera, which is a mostly hotel resorts but beautiful beaches. Also worth a visit is the beautiful Kor Castle, which was once the center of the Skanderbeg rebellion against the Ottoman Empire. The Kor Empire is so beautiful that it really feels like time has stopped. Here and now it's time to continue north to the source of refreshing water with the best water and enjoy the incredible view of the unspoiled nature and majestic. Albania is my favorite country I've ever traveled to, and now comes lunchtime. When I say that the Albania is clean and traditional is what I'm thinking. I'm sitting here eating homemade cheese and homemade bread with this amazing view. There's just the 2 of us here, and it's peace and quiet and calm, and that's Albania. After lunch we continue on to the stunning Gruna water, shaded the sound of trills. When I get there to be just by myself. The last part of the hike was an adrenaline rush as we had to cross this river over this bridge. Spoiler alert, we survived. We reached the end of our Albanian adventure, and all that is left is to return to Tirana, leave the car and catch a flight home. I hope this itinerary has been helpful and inspires your travels. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. Subscribe to the Travel Vision Travel channel, and see you in the next video. Welcome to Sweden, the heart of Scandinavia, where history and natural beauty intertwine to create an unforgettable Swedish experience. Pristine forests, majestic lakes and vast archipelagos make Sweden a haven for explorers. The air is fresh, the water is crystal clear, and the people are among the friendliest in Europe, and rich with a rich history preserving the legends of the Vikings and the medieval heritage. Sweden promises time travel and wonderment, so let's dive into the 10 best places to visit in Sweden, a vibrant multicultural city, located just across the Bridge of the Sun. Malmö combines old world charm and modern excitement. Cultural treasures including the new Madna M Malmö, and indulge in organic fair trade produce along the picturesque promenade. Number 9, Visby. Step back in time in Visby, the gateway to Gotland. Wander through medieval streets lined with historic buildings and savor the taste of farm fresh cuisine. Visby's rich history and culinary delights. Visby's rich history and culinary delights make it a must-visit destination. Number 8, Ulla. Immerse yourself in Sweden's cultural capital, where ancient cathedrals and majestic castles stand as testaments to centuries of history. Explore the charming old town and marvel at the spires of UPSA Cathedral towering against the skyline. Number 7, Marstrand. Like stones, Marstrand beckons with its scenic nature and rich seabed. With its scenic nature and rich maritime heritage, Explore its historic fortress, dine on fresh seafood, and immerse yourself in the seaside atmosphere of this idyllic coastal. Discover the charm of Istad, a town frozen in time with its cobbled streets and fascinating facades. Cobblestone streets and half-timbered. Explore its rich history, vibrant artistic scene and miles of sandy beaches, making it a hidden gem waiting to be explored. Number 5. Ireland. Travel to the serene beauty of Ireland, where sandy beaches and verdant valleys, where ancient windmills and lively nightlife await you. Ireland offers something for every traveler, combining rustic charm with modern charm. Embark on a journey of discovery in the Stockholm archipelago, a fascinating mosaic of more than 30,000 islands. Experience the tranquility of island life, explore historical sites and immerse yourself in the splendor of this hidden gem. Gothenburg. Number 3. Sweden's second largest city. Gothenburg captivates with a combination of old world charm and contemporary sophistication. Explore its picturesque parks, vibrant cultural life and a lively cityscape, offering a refreshing alternative to the capital city. Number 2. Kiruna. Travel to the heart of Swedish Lapland and discover the Kiruna's enchanting beauty. From mesmerizing wildlife to breathtaking outdoor adventures, Kiruna promises an unforgettable experience for every adventurer. Number 1. Stockholm. The pearl of Scandinavia. Stockholm enchants with its timeless beauty and cosmopolitan spirit. Explore its historic streets, world-class museums and an innovative majestic lakes and vast archipelagos make Sweden a haven for explorers. The air is fresh, the water is crystal clear, and the people are among the friendliest in Europe, and rich with a rich history preserving the legends of the Vikings and the medieval heritage. Sweden promises time travel and wonderment, so let's dive into the 10 best places to visit in Sweden, a vibrant multicultural city, located just across the Bridge of the Sun. Malmö combines old world charm and modern excitement. Cultural treasures including the new Madna M Malmö and indulge in organic fair trade produce along the picturesque promenade. Number 9. Visby. Step back in time in Visby, the gateway to Gotland. Wander through medieval streets lined with historic buildings and savor the taste of farm-fresh cuisine. Visby's rich history and culinary delights make it a must-visit destination. Number 8. Ulla. Immerse yourself in Sweden's cultural capital, where ancient cathedrals and majestic castles stand as testaments to centuries of history. Explore the charming old town and marvel at the spires of UPSA Cathedral towering against the skyline. Number 7. Marstrand. Like stones, Marstrand beckons with its scenic nature and rich seabed. With its scenic nature and rich maritime heritage, explore its historic fortress, dine on fresh seafood and immerse yourself in the seaside atmosphere of this idyllic coastal. Discover the charm of Istad, a town frozen in time with its cobbled streets and fascinating facades. Cobblestone streets and half-timbered. Explore its rich history, vibrant artistic scene and miles of sandy beaches, making it a hidden gem waiting to be explored. Number 5. Ireland. Travel to the serene beauty of Ireland, where sandy beaches and verdant valleys, where ancient windmills and lively nightlife await you. Ireland offers something for every traveler, combining rustic charm with modern charm. Embark on a journey of discovery in the Stockholm archipelago, a fascinating mosaic of more than 30,000 islands. Experience the tranquility of island life, explore historical sites and immerse yourself in the splendor of this hidden gem. Gothenburg. Number 3. Sweden's second largest city. Gothenburg captivates with a combination of old world charm and contemporary sophistication. Explore its picturesque parks, vibrant cultural life and a lively cityscape, offering a refreshing alternative to the capital city. Number 2. Kiruna. Travel to the heart of Swedish Lapland and discover the Kiruna's enchanting beauty. From mesmerizing wildlife to breathtaking outdoor adventures, Kiruna promises an unforgettable experience for every adventurer. Number 1. Stockholm. The pearl of Scandinavia. Stockholm enchants with its timeless beauty and cosmopolitan spirit. Explore its historic streets, world-class museums and an innovative spirit that makes it a must-see destination for travelers around the world.